It also is a reminder for us how important officiating is. And I think the men and women that officiate in the NFL are outstanding. They have the highest possible standards. That's ridiculous theory for anyone who might take it seriously.
As the National Football League gears up for Super Bowl 59, Commissioner Roger Goodell has addressed a growing controversy surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs. The team's unprecedented run of success, culminating in their third consecutive Super Bowl appearance, has sparked speculation about potential favoritism from league officials. During his annual Super Bowl week news conference in New Orleans, Goodell took a firm stance against these allegations, dismissing them as a ridiculous theory. The Chiefs, led by quarterback Patrick Mahomes, are on the cusp of making history as they aim for their third straight championship. Their opponent in this high-stakes matchup is the Philadelphia Eagles, setting the stage for a rematch of their thrilling 38-35 victory 2 years ago. This rematch has intensified the scrutiny on officiating decisions that have seemingly benefited the Chiefs throughout their playoff run. The controversy surrounding the Chiefs' success has its roots in several contentious calls during their playoff journey. In the divisional round against the Houston Texans, 2 roughing the passer penalties were called in favor of the Chiefs. These calls drew criticism from viewers and commentators alike, including respected Fox broadcasters Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, who deemed them questionable at best. The situation escalated further during the AFC Championship game against the Buffalo Bills. A crucial fourth down spot involving Bills quarterback Josh Allen became a major point of contention. The measurement, which went against the Bills, reignited debates about the accuracy and fairness of human-based ball spotting in critical game situations. This incident, in particular, fueled the narrative of potential bias towards the Chiefs. These controversial calls have led to widespread speculation on social media platforms, with fans and analysts questioning the integrity of NFL officiating. The timing of these incidents, coinciding with the Chiefs' continued success, has only served to amplify the voices of those crying foul. Addressing these concerns head-on, Commissioner Goodell devoted a significant portion of his 48-minute news conference to the issue. The setting of the conference, held in the Saints' locker room, provided a stark backdrop for what would become a defining moment in this ongoing controversy. Goodell began by acknowledging the passion of NFL fans while simultaneously dismissing the notion of officiating bias. He stated,
A lot of those theories are things that happen in social media, and they get a new life. As you say, it's not your theory, but it's out there. Nobody wants it to be their theory. And so I understand that. I think it reflects a lot of the fans' passion. And I think it also is a reminder for us how important officiating is.
Goodell drew parallels between these allegations and previous conspiracy theories that have circulated about the NFL. He said,
well, this sort of reminds me a little bit of the script, right? That I write a script, and I have the script for the entire season. Listen, I think from a lot of those theories are things that happen in social media, and they get a new life. As you say, it's not your theory, but it's out there. Nobody wants it to be their theory.
While firmly rejecting the notion of bias, Goodell did acknowledge the need for continuous improvement in officiating. He stated, but at the end of the day, it's something we have to work at. How do we make our officiating better? This acknowledgement suggests that while the league stands behind its officials, it also recognizes the importance of addressing fan concerns and striving for even greater accuracy in game-changing decisions. Goodell provided insight into the NFL's comprehensive approach to officiating evaluation. He explained that the assessment process extends beyond on-field performance to include aspects of officials' personal lives.
Our officials are evaluated in several ways. It's not just the performance on the field, but it's things that go on in their own lives. And we have a very tight controls over that. We monitor that very closely in a number of ways.
The commissioner highlighted the challenges faced by NFL officials. He stated, "It's a tough job, a really hard job. I've never seen a more dedicated group of people to getting it right, doing the best job they possibly can, and I'm proud of the work they do." Addressing technological advancements in officiating, Goodell discussed the league's plans to implement virtual line-to-gain measurements. NFL executive Kimberly Fields provided additional context on this initiative. He said, What this technology cannot do is take the place of the human element in determining where forward progress ends. There will always be a human official spotting the ball. Once the ball is spotted, then the line-to-gain technology actually does the measurement itself. Goodell emphasized the ongoing collaboration with technology partners to refine ball spotting techniques. He stated,
The accuracy of it, number one, the reliability of it, number two, because you have to be right when you do it, ultimately. And so I think technology is advancing at such a pace that we obviously incorporate that into our game, but you really need to test it, make sure your data is right, and then implement it when you think you have it right.
The commissioner also addressed the potential expansion of replay assist technology. He indicated that the league is considering adding face mask penalties to the list of reviewable plays. Goodell emphasized the benefits of replay assist technology, which provides officials with additional camera angles to aid in decision-making.
And I think we have been more transparent now. When we make a mistake on the field, we say it. We're not afraid to do that, but there's so many times there's confusion or they don't understand the rule, and that includes people on television too, Kurt, don't take it personally.
Not in the studio.
And I think that's something we continue to work on to communicate better, educate better, but also to use technology.
In defense of the Chiefs' success, Goodell pointed to their impressive regular season performance. He noted that out of the Chiefs' 15 wins, 11 were decided by one score or less. This statistic, according to Goodell, is indicative of the league's overall competitiveness rather than any bias towards a particular team. He stated,
if you look at the Chiefs' record, which I think is an amazing thing, people talk about the competitiveness of our league. The Chiefs, with their 15 wins, 15-2 this year, 11 of those 15 games were within one score. And I think that talks about the competitiveness of our game and the importance of how we officiate it, but also the competitiveness of how we play it.
While the officiating controversy dominated discussions, Goodell also addressed several other pertinent issues facing the NFL. One of the key topics was the league's commitment to diversity and inclusion policies. In light of recent political developments, including the Trump administration's efforts to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government, Goodell reaffirmed the NFL's stance on these initiatives. The commissioner stated,
well, I think I've said it before, Jared, but listen, we got into diversity efforts because we felt it was the right thing for the National Football League. And we're going to continue to those efforts because we've not only convinced ourselves, I think we've proven ourselves that it does make the NFL better.
He emphasized that the league's policies are designed to be compliant with both current and previous administrations' guidelines, stating, our policies have been designed to be well within the law, well within the practice. There are no quotas in our system. This is about opening that funnel and bringing the best talent into the NFL. Goodell also addressed the Rooney Rule, a policy that requires NFL teams to interview diverse candidates for head coaching and senior football operation positions. He described it as a canvas from which the league can find candidates from different communities. The commissioner shared that the NFL has benefited from expanding its pool of candidates, stating,
and so many of us, including the National Football League at our office, are doing that voluntarily at all levels because it has benefited us. And I hear that from companies on a global basis, is that that's a very strong hiring practice that we are adopting also.
On the topic of international expansion, Goodell expressed optimism about the potential for an NFL franchise outside the United States. He stated,
I do think there's a potential that someday we're going to have an international franchise. And if we do, I think it would not surprise me at all if a Super Bowl follows and is played there.
The NFL has been actively expanding its global footprint with games played in England, Germany, Mexico, and Brazil in recent years. A game is also scheduled for 2025 in Spain. Goodell acknowledged that hosting a Super Bowl outside of North America would present challenges, particularly in terms of time zones for U.S.-based broadcasters. Despite these potential hurdles, the commissioner's comments suggest that international expansion remains a key priority for the NFL's long-term growth strategy.